Have you ever wondered why bananas curve? It all starts with one simple question. The answer to forming your favorite fruit is more surprising than you think. Bananas grow from the bottom up, attached at the base of a tall pseudostem. The side that faces the ground gets less light, so it grows slower. Plant hormones, auxin, shift in response to gravity. This causes cells on the lower side to stretch less than those on the upper side. The uneven growth bends the fruit upward. Curvature appears early, long before the banana reaches market size. Nature has a clever solution, and the secret is in the fruit's own growth process. Let's find out why. Bananas are the world's most widely eaten fruit, supplying millions of calories every day. In many tropical countries, they are a staple, while in the United States and Europe, they are a snack that almost everyone has in their grocery cart. Because of their global importance, scientists and farmers study every part of the banana plant to improve yield, reduce waste, and keep prices stable. Yet the simple, curved shape of a banana hides a surprising story. Most people think the bend is just a random quirk or a result of gravity pulling the fruit down. This view ignores a sophisticated biological response that lets the plant grow in a way that maximizes light exposure and protects the developing fruit. If we miss this, bananas grow from the bottom up, attached at the base of a tall pseudostem. The side that faces the ground gets less light, so it grows slower. Plant hormones, auxin, shift in response to gravity. Productin. The uneven growth bends the fruit upward. Curvature appears early, long before the banana reaches market size. Nature has a clever solution, and the secret is in the fruit's own growth process. Let's find out why. Bananas are the world's most widely eaten fruit, supplying millions of calories every kiss. In many tropical countries, they are a staple, while in the United States and Europe, they are a snack that almost everyone has in their grocery cart. Because of their global importance, scientists and farmers study every part of the banana plant to improve yield, reduce waste. Yet the simple, curved shape of a banana hides a surprising story. Most people think the bend is just a random rod or a result of gravity pulling shields. This view ignores a sophisticated biological response that lets the plant grow in a way that maximizes light exposure and protects the developing fruit. If we miss this, we miss the key. Think about a banana cluster. Each fruit is like a tiny, elongated ball attached at one end to the pseudostem. As the fruit begins to form, it is still small and flexible. Light reaches it from above and from the sides, but the side that faces the ground receives less photons. Plants can sense light and respond. This is called phototropism, but in this case, the plant is also responding to gravity or gravitropism. The hormone auxin is the messenger. Auxin tends to gather on the lower side of a plant organ when the organ is tilted. In a banana, intensity of auxin is higher on the side that faces the ground. Auxin controls how cells elongate. When auxin is abundant, cells expand more. When auxin is scarce, cells stay shorter. In a banana, the lower cells are exposed to more auxin. They grow a bit longer, but the critical part is that the upper cells receive less auxin. The result is that the upper side is relatively shorter than the lower side. Wait, this seems backward. Actually, the lower side receives a lower concentration of auxin, so the lower side grows less. The upper side, receiving more auxin, elongates more. As the fruit grows, the upper side stretches out more than the lower side, causing LOM. This process is called differential growth. The fruit starts to bend upward. The bend is not a static shape. It changes as the fruit grows. The curvature is most pronounced in the first weeks of development. By the time the fruit underscore editor becomes the size we buy, the curve is already set. The plant has already decided how it will orient its fruit. The idea that gravity is pulling the banana down is a common misconception. In fact, the fruit curves upward because the cells on the upward side grow longer. Gravity influences auxin distribution, but the result is that the banana points away from the ground. Scientists have confirmed this by gently tilting banana plantlets and observing the direction of curvature. The fruit bends toward the light, not away from it. There is another layer to the story. The banana plant has no true trunk. The pseudostem is a bundle of leaf bases. The fruit hangs off the pseudostem like a dangling cluster. When the fruit starts to develop, it must maintain a balance with the rest of the cluster. If the fruit were straight, it would sit directly on the pseudostem and could damage surrounding buds. The curve gives the fruit a little clearance. The bending reduces friction and prevents the fruit from rubbing against the plant, which could cause bruising or fungal infection. Farmers have noticed that bananas that grow too straight tend to be more fragile and are more likely to bruise during transport. Many breeding programs now look for varieties that naturally curve. The curve is also a visual cue to birds and animals that the fruit is ripe. The banana's shape, combined with its bright yellow skin, signals that it is ready to eat. If we cut a banana in half, we can see the side that received less light is slightly darker. The pigment distribution also changes with auxin. The lower side has fewer chlorophyll molecules because less light triggers less chlorophyll production. The difference in color is subtle, but it is evidence that light exposure drives growth patterns. Scientists have used X-ray imaging to watch the banana's internal structure develop over time. They see the cells on the upper side stretch and elongate. The lower side rarely changes. The curvature is a living, dynamic process. From an evolutionary perspective, the banana's shape may have given an advantage to early growers of the banana's curve is a story that unfolds long before the fruit is ready to be sold. Imagine a tiny green bud that starts growing low down the plant's pseudostem, a bundle of leaf bases that give the plant its support. From that lowest point, the fruit shoots upward, almost like a child climbing a ladder. But the climb is not a straight line. As the fruit grows, the side that faces the ground receives less light. Light is the key driver of plant growth. Scientists call this the differential growth. When one side gets more light, the cells on that side produce richer auxin, the plant hormone that directs cell elongation. Auxin is a jug dance with gravity. Gravity nudges auxin toward the plant's axis, pushing more of the hormone to the top side. The top cells stretch more, the bottom cells lag behind. That uneven stretching is what makes the banana curve. It isn't a shape that screams up. The fruit bends away from the ground. You might think gravity pulls the banana down, but the real force is the hormone's uneven push. The result is a fruit that points toward the sky. The curve starts almost immediately. Within the first few weeks of development, the banana's shape is already turning. By the time the fruit reaches the size that ships to stores, the curvature is set. The plant has chosen the direction long before any farmer touches it. It is not just a passive result of light and hormone. The banana plant has no true trunk. Its pseudostem is a set of leaf bases that hold the fruit cluster. If each banana were perfectly straight, it would sit flush against the pseudostem and press against its siblings. That pressure can bruise the fruit or create a small wound. The curve gives a little clearance. It reduces friction and keeps the fruit from rubbing against other bananas or the plant tissue. That small difference means fewer bruises, fewer fungal infections, and a longer shelf life. Farmers notice this difference. Straight bananas that grew under experimental conditions were more fragile when they hit the shelf. Those that curved naturally tended to stay intact longer during transport. So breeders started selecting for curves as a trait. The shape became a natural signal to animals that the fruit was ripe. A curved, yellow banana is a clear marker that the sugars are ready for consumption. The curve helps keep the fruit from mushing itself against the other bananas and gives the insect pollinators and frugivores a visual cue. The shape and color together tell the world, we're ready. If you slice a banana open, you will see a subtle color difference. The side that got less light is slightly darker. That darker side has less chlorophyll because the smaller light exposure slowed pigment production. It is a visual reminder that light drives growth and that the plant is tuning its shape to the environment. Scientists use X-ray imaging to watch the banana's internal cells change. They see the upper side cells elongate, while the lower side remains largely the same. The growth is not a single event. It is a continuous process that happens as the fruit matures. The curvature is a living, dynamic answer to the plant's needs. From an evolutionary view, the banana shape may have benefited early growers. The curve lets the fruit hang freely, preventing it from crushing the base of the plant. If the fruit were too close to the stem, a fall could damage the developing buds. The slight arch protects not only the fruit, but also the plant's future growth. Some people still wonder, why does the banana curve upward, not downward? The answer lies in the hormone's response to gravity. Auxin accumulates on the lower side, but instead of making that side grow, it signals the upper side to grow faster. The result is an upward bend. The entire mechanism shows how a plant can use internal signals to shape its structure against the pull of gravity. What if we grew bananas on a rotating platform? Experiments have tilted the plants to see how the fruit bends. When the plant is laid on its side, the fruit curves toward the new top of the plant, not level. That confirms the hormone's role and shows the fruit's shape is not a fixed trait, but an adaptive response to its orientation. In the end, the banana's targeted curve is a clever survival tool. It balances light exposure, reduces damage, signals ripeness and protects the plant's future buds. It is a reminder that the shapes in nature are rarely accidental. Every bend, twist the answer is more surprising than you think. The banana's curve is not a random quirk. It is a precise, living answer to gravity, light, and survival. As the fruit grows upward from the base of the pseudostem, the side that faces the ground gets less light. Plant hormones, especially auxin, shift because of gravity. Those hormones make the cells on the upper side elongate faster than the lower side. The differential growth pulls the fruit into a gentle arch that points toward the sky. This arch gives the banana a functional edge. It keeps the jejunlic fruit from bruising against its neighbors, helps the fruit hang freely, and signals to animals and insects that the sugars are ready. The very shape of the banana is an everyday example of a plant using internal chemical cues to shape itself against its environment. It shows how a simple shift in hormone distribution can change an entire organ's trajectory. What we learn here is that nature's design is often a direct response to everyday forces. Light, gravity, and the need to survive shape the world in ways that look simple but are rooted in complex biology. The banana's curve is a subtle reminder that even the most common foods carry stories of adaptation and ingenuity. If you found this twist of biology interesting, hit like, share, and subscribe so you're not missing the next chapters in nature's playbook. In our next video, we'll explore why some flowers open at night and how that helps them survive. Stay curious, and you'll discover that everyday objects are hiding fascinating science.